And a series that everyone was considering a title series type of vibe, it certainly lived up to that in the perspective for the Arkansas Razorbacks and how much they were able to really shut down the Tennessee Volunteer team, who kind of stumbled their way through the second half of the season and to what eventually became their finish line as their title defense ends in the Fayetteville Regional after Arkansas was able to sweep in the regionals and super regionals. But certainly a ton of accomplishments that Tennessee was still able to pull off this season, especially when you consider how many upsets happened in the regionals alone. But Tennessee becomes the first team this decade to not only host their regionals, but make it to the super regionals the year after winning it all. Certainly a lot to be proud of with this team. I just think the same things that have been bothering them the second half of the season kind of just reared its head once again here in game 1 and game 2 against Arkansas. But you could specifically look at game 2, where once again the bats were really pretty quiet, and the opportunities that they did get, they were not able to capitalize on. Compare that to Arkansas, who in back-to-back games and for much of the season, they capitalized on their opportunities, and Tennessee just was not able to do that. You could look to the bottom of the third inning where it's 3 straight hits, able to load the bases with no outs, and you have your home run leader and Andrew Fisher with 25 home runs on the season. And while he's able to bat one in and Cannon Peoples, he grounds out into a double play and then not able to do anything with the next at bat. It's a Hunter Ensley fly out, which he's had so many hard hit outs this last month of his season and of his career that what he was really able to do kind of probably is very frustrating, though he was able to get on base after he was able to drop one into what felt like no man's land. But you could even go a couple innings later or to the next frame, and it's the bottom of the 4th, and where we talked about in the pregame conversation about wanting production from Dalton Bargo and Reese Chapman, whether it's just longer at bats, finding a way to get a walk. They were able to do that there just quickly, and it was their first one. So in their last 16 to 14 at-bats, both of them just had one. They were able to get one more in the same inning, but the team was not able to get either of them in, as it's a fly out, it's a strikeout, and it's a fielder's choice, and nothing happens there. You compound that with what was kind of a mediocre day to start on the mound. Liam Doyle lasted just under 4 innings for Tennessee, frustrated to get pulled from the game, and then it kind of just gets worse from there as he exits the game with the bases loaded. And maybe you're thinking, I don't know, let me know. Do you leave him in there in the moment, or are you letting hindsight maybe influence your decision to say yes or no? I think in that moment you stick with Fayetteville trying to get the best matchup there. You're trying to force a game 3, and maybe, yeah, you want to save guys like AJ Russell for that would be game 3, but in that moment, you're just trying to survive, right? You're in that 0-1 hole, and you don't really have any room at all to take that kind of gamble. But of course, it just gets worse there. It's a good pitch by AJ Russell, but it's a better swing by Arkansas, and it's a grand slam. And I think that ends up being 7 runs through 4 innings about for Arkansas. And Tennessee not really able to do anything after that. Later, for the second time that game, Arkansas gets the bases loaded, and it's 2 times you get a bases loaded walk. So you didn't have it in your arms, you didn't have it in your bats, and when you're taking on a team like Arkansas, you're not going to be able to win games where you're either, 1, getting a season low in 2 hits, or you're giving up double-digit runs against the Arkansas Razorbacks. So just things that have been bothering Tennessee all season long continue to compound. Where you find some confidence moving forward is how the game ended, right? So it's Chris Newstrom getting an extra base hit, that freshman there, and then a couple batters later, another pinch hit, and it's Jay Abernathy who gets his first home run on this season. And if it weren't for the scoreboard, I mean, that thing probably could have gone another a couple hundred feet, right? It felt like it could be an easy 450 type home run. That there gives them a 2-run home run. 11-4 is your score at the time, and then it's Ariel Antigua, who ends up striking out for the final out of the game. But maybe where those two end their season gives you a little hope that Tennessee has some young talent, as they consider Manny Marin a young pup. So you'd hope in the offseason and what they're able to do in the fall, they'll be able to rebuild, right? They've got enough guys coming from the portal, enough guys coming from high school, and who they have returning. It's just hard to get so far when you are such a young team, not only in year, but how long the team have been playing together. But we'll have much more on this season and how it looked and things to cherish and remember. And I'm sure we'll be there when the team returns to Knoxville. So certainly make sure you subscribe to hear from Tony Vitello later this evening, and then more on Tennessee baseball as we spend maybe the next week or two kind of recapping their season and looking forward. I'll talk to you guys then.
It's important to make the right decisions, like when to go for it on 4th down, or when to kick the field goal or go for the touchdown. It's also important to make the right insurance decisions too. That's why my office, Trey McAdams State Farm, is here to help you select the right protection at the right price. Our office will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages, so you'll know what to expect when the unexpected happens. With Trey McAdams State Farm, it's easy to make the right call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Proud sponsor of the Tennessee Vols.